Season 1 of that 90s show was recently released on Netflix, and it's safe to say that it's been a little bit divisive. Some people have loved it, some people haven't as much, and it seems as though others felt as though it lacked a target audience. With the show introducing a group of new characters and honing in on nostalgia, it was something that it relied on heavily and did work a fair bit. But what's with Season 2? Well, with that, I thought I'd take a look at all that's out there along with giving my theories and predictions on what I think could happen in the next season. So let's get into it. Here is that 90s show Season 2 Everything We Know. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The release date. In terms of a release date for Season 2 of the show, the renewal status is currently unknown. When the show was originally commissioned for the batch of episodes that we saw, it was only given the green light for 10, so I imagine based off of the success of these first 10 episodes, it will be the deciding factor on if a new season is going to be released. Netflix usually bases the success of a show on where it sits in the top 10 ranking of shows, the general reception that it gets from critics and fans, how many subscribers it draws into the platform, and the total watch time minutes that it generates on the platform too. Based on where it's currently sitting, it's currently sat at number 3 in the top 10, and it is being spoken about quite a lot, so that is a positive sign, and it could mean that it could climb higher to number 1 eventually. If the show is going to be released for a second season and get another installment, Netflix usually waits a few weeks to a few months to decide whether or not it's going to be renewed, and then following on from that decision, shortly after it then gets announced to us, viewers. So we won't have that long to wait to find out about its fate. If the show sticks to traditional release dates and schedules, I imagine we'd most likely get a second season of the show in around a year's time, as that's how long it usually takes most shows to create their next season, so that would be around January 2024. It isn't a show that looks that expensive to make due to the fact that the set is quite basic and it doesn't have much in terms of special effects, so that wouldn't be a time constraint. So with all of that in mind, I'm going to predict a January 2024 release date for Season 2 of the show. The cast. The cast was one of the main things that made Season 1 of the show shine. Each character adopted different personalities and they each brought a different sense of dynamic to the group. With most of the screen time being about the characters, it's something that's embedded throughout the show and at the heart of it. There were also cameos that were incorporated into it too, which lent back to the original show, that 70s show, which brought out a sense of familiarity to this new installment. I think it's safe to say that Leia, Gwen, Jay, Nate, Nick, Ozzie, Red, Kitty, Fez, and Sherry will all be returning. In terms of cameos that we could see appearing in the new season of the show, we could see Eric and Donna return again, which I think would make the most sense due to the fact that Leia would need a way of arriving at Red and Kitty's for the summer. It would also make sense for Michael and Jackie to return in the new season as well, seeing as though they're Jay's parents and only live down the street, and I feel we'll most likely see Fez again due to his intimate relationship with Gwen and Nate's mother, Sherry. Plus, he also feels like he's the character that brings the main sense of comic relief. I imagine there's also most likely going to be a wide selection of new characters that we could be introduced to as the new season develops, and more of the antics that the characters get up to in the summer unfold. The story. With the first season of the show finishing the way that it did, with Leia going back to Chicago following on from an eventful summer where she went on a journey of self-discovery, I think it's quite clear to see what's going to unfold over the course of the next season. In terms of the structure of the story, I think we're going to see each season based around a summer that Leia spends at her grandparents'. I don't think we'll see any of the school time that we heard of where we found out that Leia wasn't the most popular person at school. Nor will we see it replicated on Gwen's side. I think each season is going to be based around the holidays and there'll be no academic side involved. The main story that I think we'll see unfold will be based around the love triangle, or square, that's going to be formed around Leia, Nate, Jay, and Nick, with Leia confessing that she may have feelings for Nate instead of Jay, following on from them confiding in each other and both feeling similar things from the person that they thought they liked. I think we could see them grow closer the next time she's in town for the summer, and then the news could break out to the rest of the group. This would then most likely cause a divide in the friendship group that we saw growing closer over the course of the first season, so it will be an interesting dynamic change. With regards to Nick, I think we'll continue to see her focusing on her studies and looking to get into a suitable college for herself. This will also most likely mean that her and Nate will continue to drift apart. They may even have broken up by the time that we see them in the next summer, due to there being a whole year of Nate feeling as though he's not going to be with her in the future, or even like he has a place inside of her future due to her being so uncertain. With regards to Red and Kitty, I think we'll see Red not really having a main arc, but being the one that provides the harsh reality to a lot of people about a lot of different things. I think we'll see him admitting his fearful nature and also his authority. And then with regards to Kitty, I feel we'll see her enjoying having the house full again, due to us seeing that she missed what it used to be like in the early episodes, and it feeling like there was no life in the house before Leia arrived. I also think we'll see how she's getting on with handling the new job as the school nurse that she took up at the end of season 1. She was worried that she'd be too old and that she may struggle to keep up with the pace in which she needed to operate at, so it will be interesting to see if she sticks with the job or not. I think she will have most likely stuck with it. Gwen was very much focused on being there for her friends this summer, and she didn't have any kind of romantic relations with anybody. This led her to be frustrated with Leia in the final episode, so the next season could potentially see the shoe on the other foot, and see her having to balance being in a relationship with somebody and also being with her friends. However, it could be more difficult due to the fact that it might not be with anybody that's inside of the friendship group, so they may not all hang out as much as usual. With the love square as well, the group may not resemble anything like we saw in season 1. Outside of the deeper storylines that we'll most likely have unfolding, I feel we'll most probably see the group getting up to more of the antics that we saw them getting up to in the first season of the show, where over the summer they go on to learn more about themselves, find themselves, and start to slowly become the young adults that they're morphing into. I imagine it's going to be an exciting season. I just hope we get more than 10 episodes, maybe 20 like the original show, as it allows more time to understand and connect with the characters, so we'll just have to see what happens next. Unfortunately for now, that's all that's known about season 2 of the show, but I'm sure more information will be released as time goes on. So, there you have it, that 90s show season 2, everything we know. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions and character breakdowns, then click on the I button, or alternatively you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think is going to happen next? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.